Hey guys, welcome to your video. Today I want to show you every single team that I use and everything that I do in order to keep myself at the end game of Summoner's War. And guys, world boss every day. Never ever skip world boss. That's actually free things that the game gives you. Now, complete daily missions every single day. I've been playing for a ton of time and I don't know if I missed more than 2 daily missions since I started playing this game. Of course, if you want to be free to play, you have to complete everything that will give you a worthy reward. So that's it. Now, for what I buy from Arena, well, you will see, I buy Mystical Scrolls, I buy Devilmon every single week. The Devilmon is the most important thing that you should buy, and then you should complete the towers. Now for World Arena, the best thing are the Mystical Scrolls, which are the cheapest ones that you can get, and of course the LD Scrolls. And from Guild Shop, you can buy Ifrit pieces, LD pieces, and of course the Mystical Scrolls. Then you can go for the Legendary Scrolls if you have spare points. And of course, the Rainbow Mon is also very nice as a reward since it's very cheap and you may need the Summoning Stones. Now for the farming teams on Cairos, I usually farm Giants B12, that's what I farm the most. And I'm using this team, which is the double Milia team, and one of them is on Swift, so that my Swift Milia goes... Actually, there are no violent Milias here, so the Swift one moves twice before Tattoo moves, so that way I don't depend on the RNG of having violent, and I have more chances of landing dots consistently. However, as you can see, and this run is amazing, because it's one of the worst case scenarios where Lucian derps and derps and derps and derps, and that's what can happen to you guys as well. So this thing can go from 25 to 27 seconds up to 1 minute 20. So yeah, this will be one of those 1 minute 20 runs. And guys, this team can fail. It can fail 1 out of maybe 200 runs, maybe 500 runs. It doesn't happen often, but it can fail. So yeah, and you see why. The RNG sometimes says you will not win. And as for what runes do I keep? Well, I keep the runes that are purple or legendary. And well, guys, I try to keep the ones that have speed or have high crit rate, for instance, which are really crucial stats for any unit that you want to build. So yeah, I try to keep those, I try to roll those, and if they rolled 3 times on crit rate or 3 times on speed, then I usually keep them. The crit rate ones, maybe not all the time, because I don't need every rune with those stats, but if you are still building up your rune base, then go for that kind of thing. Of course, the HP percent substat is amazing as well. And yeah, you can roll 3 times on HP and have some strong HP percent runes on every single slot, so that you can build tanky units, and that will be good as well if you are still building your rune base. But in my case, I have a ton of runes, so yeah, I am a little bit more picky with what I get. And of course, for Dragons B12, I'm running the Tricaru team, and yeah, I'm using the Halloween Transmog for Birdie Hell, since that is the fastest one in order to clear the stage, and I'm using the Transmog on 2 of the 3 Cairos, because the team up of the Cairo works this way. The unit that attacks first is the one with the fastest attack animation. That means that if one of your Tricaros is not transmogged, that Ikaru will hit last when they do the team up attack, which means that the other 2 have a chance of defense breaking before that Ikaru moves. So you should keep the Ikaru with your strongest attack power and the fastest one without, which should be the same one by the way, without the transmog, which means that when he uses the team up attack and he will be the first unit to move, then the other 2 Icarus will attack first during the team up with a chance of defense breaking with their first skill, which means that the strongest Ikaru that you have will be hitting a defense broken opponent. And well, that way you optimize the times of your runs. Also, for instance, this is a rune that I will try to roll because, you know, crit damage slot 4, HP percent and attack percent slot 6 are some of the most wanted stats that you want on those runes. Of course, speed slot 2 is one of those as well, and of course HP percent and attack percent slot 2 are very good as well for certain units. And now for Necro B12 we are adding Aster here, and you know, she's on vampire runes and this team works exactly like the Dragons B12 one, but you know, adding this Aster in order to make it faster and more consistent for Necro purposes. So you can run Necro B12 with these same units, with these same stats, without Aster, and will be 100% consistent, and you know, it will be fast. But with Aster, it will be even faster. And this team is super consistent and really fast, so I kept this like this. And of course, you could build a Lucian in order for the Lucian to kill himself during the third wave of the run, and then that team will actually be the fastest one that you can build for farming. But yeah, and of course you could even add a shaman for that team instead of Aster and go Lucian, Triple Caro and shaman, so shaman will be the last unit to move. It's up to you guys, it's up to what you want to dedicate to Necro B12. Of course, from Necro you will be getting the will runes that we all love, so yeah. And guys, for this Punisher's Crypt B10, Stell Fortress B10, we're using the same team that we use for Giants, the exact same team, and the runs are almost the same. So the only difference here will be that the boss will get a shield. So instead of landing 5 dots on the boss, you will need to land 6 in order for the boss to die before attacking you, you know, to be a perfect run, which is not as easy to do. However, it doesn't matter a lot. You will be able to clear this super consistently with this team, and you know, this team also fails once every 500, maybe 1k runs, but I have seen this team fail. So yeah, that can happen. It means that you will have very bad RNG, but it could happen. Now about the artifacts, guys, I usually keep the ones that have damage based on speed. I try to roll all of those because, you know, damage based on speed doesn't matter. The main property of the artifact is always super powerful, especially for units that multi-hit the opponent. And for instance, a Fran can deal a ton of damage even if the artifact has HP or even defense, and if the artifact has 150% damage based on speed, because, you know, adding that up to the other artifact that you will be using, she may deal a ton of damage. Also, the artifacts that have healing percent from Punisher's Crypt, where we are now, and of course we're using the same Cairos team. But the thing here is that you will go for the crystals first during the boss phase, guys. The only thing to note about Punisher's Crypt is that you should kill the crystals first during the boss phase. Now, what you will keep here is the same. However, here you can add the artifacts that have healing percent on certain skill, damage percent, crit damage percent on certain skill, and of course the accuracy percent on certain skill. And also there are stats that are general for both artifacts, which are damage if the HP condition of the opponent is good, damage if the HP condition of the opponent is bad, which I don't like, and the other one that is the best one for certain units is damage if using single target skills during your turn. So crit damage during single target skills during your turn is a very good one, and of course if you can get those stats for your damage dealers, for instance for a Kali, then that will be amazing. Now guys, for the magic one, I show you it is the exact same team, and you end up using the same teams for every single dungeon. I already made a video that you can go watch there, that you can build 10 units for every single dungeon in under 60 seconds each. So yeah, guys, you don't need much to farm these days. You have to aim for this team and then get your runes and artifact stocks so that you can build every unit that you pull. Now guys, remember that you should aim for B10, because now you can actually break down the high essences into mid tier and the mid tiers into low tiers, so the best rewards will be given from B10s. And well, when you go for the light one, stack units with ignore defense. That's it. Stack some Lucians if you have a few, or units with a ton of ignore defense, so that the boss goes down really fast. And for the dark one, well, you know guys, go for the Cairos, just like this. Fire 1, try Cairos, same team. Water 1, well, with this one you should stack units that deal damage based on HP. For instance, you can use Sigmaros, you can use Baromos, you can use Lin, as I do, and of course I'm running a Lauren in order to defense rake and push back the opponent. But yeah, mostly to land the defense rakes, and of course I get the attack buff, which doesn't actually matter from my friend. So yeah, that's it. Now for the wind one, I actually could use Cairos, but I'm using triple rogue. So if you want to use this exact same team, but will Cairos instead of triple rogue, then it's perfect. And we're using Elsharion to prevent that attack, actually that provides invincibility to the boss if you didn't manage to kill the boss in time. So guys, you have Elsharion in order to street that from the boss, so that you can aim for the boss and do the repeat battles without the problem of failing sometimes because you don't have a stripper for the invincibility. And now for the elemental raids, guys, I'm showing you the teams that I used in order to get my record scores. However, I will show you the teams that I currently use in order to farm them, and I will show you one in particular that's full of twins that still work, guys. Twins still work if you built them 2 years ago like I did, or maybe more than 2 years ago, I can't remember when they were released. But yeah, if you're full of twins and you can't use them on B12 anymore, then you can still use them here. And of course, for the fire one, you stack units that have AoE damage. If you don't have the blue net 5s that I use, well, don't worry, use something that does AoE damage and that is not of the wind element, and you will be fine. Of course, Eirgard is the unit that actually is the stable unit for most of these dungeons, since he provides attack buff and provides the sustain from the vampire, the vampiric touch that we have, so that every unit of ours can actually absorb the damage when they deal damage to the boss, so that it guarantees you more survivability. For every one of these runs, try to go for the opposing element of the boss, because they will deal increased damage. That means that your score will be higher. And yeah, there's not a big secret here, guys. Of course, for the light one, try to go for single target units, even though twins work amazingly fine, because once the boss is on the groggy state, then you can stack up a ton of damage, of course a ton of score, with the twins as well. So don't worry about that. And this is the team that I wanted to show you guys, which is the team of full twins and Eirgard, that actually, you know, and AR provides you the attack percent leader, which is amazing for this kind of content. So yeah, I will show you a run of this, sped up, so that you can see that the twins still work. Now guys, before moving on to my BJ5 team, I want to show you my arena advice actually. This is the team that I use as a defense one, but during the week I use a 3 monsters team in order to keep myself in the lower ranks to get easier fights and actually farm points. But you can use a 1 monster defense in order to do that, and of course beat the rivals every day. And if you remain in the low ranks, then you can use your wings fast and use them all the time in order for you to actually get the towers up as soon as you can. So guys, that's pretty much it for arena, so we're moving on to R5. Now this is my BJ5 team, and guys, I built a detailed guide on how to build this team and the stats that you need, and of course keeping in mind that all my towers are maxed. So these are the runes of the unit that I run, and of course guys, I built the 3 options and they are all in the team direct access that we have right there, so we can switch fast and we won't waste time looking for the leader that we need. You should build the 3 basic leaders and that's it. Now guys, for the dimensional energy that you have, the dimensional hole, well guys, I go for Ellunia. I farm Ellunia every single week, and of course use your dimensional energy. Don't let it go to max, don't let it go to waste. Use it every week, because here you can get the best runes in the game. And I usually farm Ellunia because I think it has the best rune types. It has will and it has despair as well. But I also farmed Khalderun. So guys, I will show you my Khalderun team afterwards as well. And of course, here I'm using Savannah, but if you don't have Savannah, you can use Bernard instead. This team is about 90% consistent with Bernard and 95% consistent with Savannah. So before pulling her, I was using Bernard. Guys, I run this team when I'm commuting from work to home, actually. So yeah, I let this team on my phone get on the dark mode that come to us added, which is amazing. So when I get home, the runs are completed and I can see the runes, of course. Don't look at your phone while you're driving, of course. I shouldn't be telling you that, but yeah, be healthy guys. So that's pretty much it, and I will show you guys the attack order against the boss for this team, which actually is you should aim for the boss directly through the first 2 waves, and then during the last wave, the last phase of the boss, go for the Fran first, because she can be very nasty and annoying and prevent you from landing detrimental effects on everything. You know what Fran does, and yeah, she's easy to kill, so you can get rid of her really easily with this team. And that's pretty much it. And how does this team fail? Well, the fails always are during the second phase, when the Belanus actually kills you before you kill the boss. That's it. So the times that you fail to kill the boss, then that Belanus may be able to kill you. And now guys, I will show you my Khalderun team, and well, this one is amazing, great team, but it takes a ton of time to complete the runs. It takes about 3.5 minutes. This team is also between 90 and 95% consistent, which is good, but it requires some decent runes, and yeah, it will take a lot of time. However, from this particular dungeon, you actually only need the Swift runes. So once you have a Swift rune that you can reappraise with a very lovely innate, a legendary one that has a very good innate, then you may want to stop farming this. Of course, you should also farm the grinds. So I farmed here until I pulled a decent slot 4 HP percent legendary rune and a very good slot 3 rune that I am actually re-upping every month, as you can see during my re-up videos. And I'm hoping to get the triple or quad roll on speed from that rune, but has a very nice innate on accuracy, so that it can be very good, and I improve the odds of actually rolling speed, because you know, when you have a slot 1 and slot 3, those are the runes that have the biggest odds of getting you a quad roll when you're reappraising them, because they on slot 1 they will not have defense and defense percent, and on slot 3 they won't have attack or attack percent. So that means that there are lesser chances of getting different stats, different substats. And of course, when you have an innate one, then you are removing that innate as well. So those are the 2 slots that you should re-up in order to go for the speed chasing if you need quad rolls and you don't have quads during on those particular slots. Also, of course, when you have the HP percent or the crit damage percent, and those runes are amazing, slot 4s, slot 6, you can re-up those as well, of course guys, but it will be harder in order for you to get a quad roll or even a triple roll. So that's pretty much it. Farm here until you get those runes and until you get a decent grind that you want to use on those particular runes once they roll okay, and then you can stop farming here and move on to Ellunia again, because you know, the wheel runes are amazing and the despair runes are very good as well. But you know, a ton of endgame players end up playing here in Khalderun all the time, because yeah, it's actually in the long run or the endgame or the super endgame, when you're investing money in the game, you may want to pull the ultimate Swift rune, because yeah, here you can pull the ultimate Swift runes, and it's really okay to do that as well. So feel free to farm what you want, of course. This is only a guide, and this is only telling you what I do, what I prefer to do at my stage and my particular stage of the game. So yeah guys, and as you can see, this rune is really consistent, but it's really slow. Guys, after this, there are only a few tips left for me to tell you. Now, I try to actually check the store every time I can when it replenishes, because I can buy legendary pieces, LD pieces, and mystical scrolls. And of course, always buy the 4-star monster pieces from your guild shop, because with them you can actually craft different stuff. Now, always, every week, try the reappraisals, both from the ancient runes and from the regular runes, and of course, craft the gems for your artifacts. I always craft the legendary scroll pieces, and I craft these legendary magic boxes, because they are amazing, guys. They are great. You see what you get here? They are great. Do that every single week if you can, and of course use the 4 stars in order to get more legendary scroll pieces, and in order to get some enchants for your artifacts, and try to do the weekly missions every single week. And now, of course, every day you should do the events, you know. And now we're watching my TOA normal team, and we are on stage 93, guys. And with this team, using this team, For the first 50 stages, or actually for the first 60 stages, you can use triple Caro and Aster. You should not add Vertihal. But for the stage 61 on, then you may want to add a Vertihal, maybe from stage 70. This time I added Vertihal on stage 72 or something. I didn't lose a run, but I remembered to use Vertihal later, so yeah, didn't matter actually. And guys, I managed to clear the full the full 100 stages during the free TOA hour, because if you are free to play players, guys, you should use the free raid hour and the free TOA hour in order for you not to waste your energy during this kind of content that you can do for free. And this team optimizes your earnings and your runs. Guys, keep that in mind all the time. You're free to play players, then use every resource the game gives you the best possible way if it doesn't actually if it doesn't require you to do anything out of the ordinary, guys. You will be doing this anyway, but try to do this during the time that it's free. If you can't, then you can't, doesn't matter, but try to use those if you can. Also remember that your Cairos don't have the 5% defense bonus from guild that you get on dungeons. So from TOA you will need the defense of your Cairos to be a little bit higher than you need for the dungeon from Necro and for dragons. So guys, I hope this was useful for you. This was the longest video that I ever made in this channel, I think. But this actually summarizes everything that you need to know and everything that I do in the game for the time being, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I will be very happy to reply as always. And guys, I hope to see you all in the next one. And please try to recommend this to your friends, because you know, this has some key information that can be useful for every single player that wants to remain free to play and to remain endgame as well. So guys, see you all in the next one. Bye bye.